This is Sparta! Let's go. I got some content coming out and just gonna be just some clips and I'm trying to just dispel a lot of rumors right now. Right now, I came across this clip of Shaq talking about some of Angel's biggest misconceptions. See, some things I like about what he said, but some things I'm gonna give my opinion on what he's saying and how he could say it in a different manner. Because Shaq, it gets a little kind of, you know. I'm gonna let you hear it first, and then I'll talk about what I heard.
I want to circle back to Reebok for a second because Angel Reese is featured in this series and she's a Reebok athlete, one of the biggest faces in the WNBA, a tremendous basketball player and a big personality. I know you know her very well. What is the biggest misconception about Angel Reese? What are people getting wrong?
That's a pretty good question. What is the biggest misconception about Angel Reese? And does Shaq have the ability to answer that correctly or with accuracy? Because, what's their relationship like? But I'll let him answer.
Really a nice, beautiful young lady. But, when you're
I don't like that. Okay, Shaq, we've already seen your interview with Angel, and the first thing you're going to talk about when we're talking about misconception is talking about her physical appearance. We don't want that from you, Shaq. And I get what you're trying to say. You're trying to soften it and make it seem palatable, but keep it basketball. It gets I don't like it. But anyway, I'm gonna finish it off.
in this thing of ours, you have to play a certain way and you have to be a certain way. A lot of times if they don't understand who you are, they misconceive. But I tell her all the time, don't ever worry about that. And she reminds me of myself or AI. She's as good or even better than some of the people that y'all are kissing up to, but y'all don't know it. But she knows it. And in order to be great, you have to know you're great. Like, and listen, they're always gonna have a good guy and they're always gonna have a bad guy. So, she just needs to continue to be beautiful, play her game, better her game, and don't worry about the nonsense. I tell her all the time, don't be looking at those comments because they don't really have a voice. They just think they do.
Okay, I like what he's saying. I do. I really do. I really do. Because I think Angel is a 23-year-old uh, second year player with a lot of pressure. And that pressure comes from her fans and from those that don't like her. And what I mean by that is her fans are her fans want her to reach the moon in a single bound. Listen to this analogy and how I'm trying to give you this picture. Like Caitlin Clark is really good at basketball, and that's not to say Angel's not good at basketball. I'm just telling you, Caitlin is doing things that normal basketball players, men or women, do not do. They don't come in as a rookie and literally have an argument for being the best player in the league as a rookie. Like that's a legit argument for Caitlin. If someone says Caitlin's my best player, you're gonna get mad because you have a knowledge of those that came before her, but you can argue and say they're absolutely wrong. You just because it's not definitive. Like if I was doing a draft right now and the WNBA starts June 4th, 2025, I have the first overall pick of every woman that ever played basketball. It's not a bad idea to say I'm picking Caitlin first. And that's the misconception. And that's the thing I think a lot of people don't want to understand that pressure Angel has. Now, Angel has to reach that level. That's not a attainable level. And that's the pressure that she's facing. See, Angel can reach Lisa Leslie. Angel can reach uh, Candace Parker. She can reach Tina Thompson. She can reach Simone Augustus. She can reach those levels of those 18 and 9 type players. Caitlin Clark is out of this world, and she might not win a title ever. But individually, she's probably the single most important figure in women's basketball. And that's coming from an Angel Reese fan. So I think that's the problem with what Angel's dealing with. Because her fans want her to be better than Caitlyn, and that's not necessarily attainable for her. She can become better than Tina Thompson. She can get to Lisa Leslie. Lisa Leslie averaged like 16 and 8. Angel can do that, and that's what I think we should be more cognizant of as Angel Reese fans. Like, stop trying to put her up there with, she's not going to reach the moon in a single mile. Maybe she becomes that great and average a 25 and 12. That's when you're on Caitlyn's level. That's tough, man. Like that's Asia. Asia's doing that now. Asia has a claim to being the best WNBA player ever. But you gotta let her grow. This is her second year, and she's on a normal trajectory of a second year player. Caitlyn just exceeded it, and you want her to be on Caitlyn's level so bad that you put so much pressure on her that she's not even allowed to make mistakes, and her mistakes become lowlights to where we clown her for making a mistake as a second year player that was drafted seventh overall when her teammate was drafted third overall, and is not nearly uh, as successful as she is. But that's just another story. And I like Camilla as well, but you got to understand that Grace Berger was drafted seventh overall by the Indiana Fever, and she can't even make a team right now. Angel Reese is exceeding a lot of expectations. The problem is her fans are not allowing her to grow with normal second year player expectations. She has to grow and grow. You want her to grow with a meteorite. Caitlyn is different, man. And I think as soon as we realize that, we'll appreciate Angel more. And that's what I think Shaq is trying to say in his own little way. But stop talking about how pretty she is, man. You're like 80 years old, bro. Yeah, she's cute, but that's our niece, man. We're not gonna have that. Stop. Don't do her that. But yeah. Hell knows.
This is Sparta!